Hi, everybody. My name is Wendy Fracchia, and I am the operations manager for Morris Murdock Escorted Tours, the Escorted Tour division of Morris Columbus Travel. I am sitting right next to our one and only getaway guru, Larry Gelwix, and we're excited today to share some information about the amazing Christmas markets in Europe. Now, I've been lucky enough to do one of the river cruises during Christmas to see the different Christmas markets. I've seen the Christmas markets in London. I've seen them in Switzerland. But this tour or this cruise and the why you love it so much, I can't wait for you to share that with everybody because it really is the best of the best. So Larry, why don't you just give a little introduction to you and Kathy? And you know what, I can jump ahead and we'll let's see. Oh, I guess you can introduce the dates.
Yeah, let me just talk about this. And Wendy, folks, thank you for joining us. You know, I have traveled all over the world, 113 countries. I live a National Geographic and traveler's life. Straight talk. The Christmas markets of Europe is at the pinnacle, at the high point, at the apex of my 45 years in the travel industry and a lifetime of traveling. The Christmas markets, or the Christkindlesmarkt, as it's called in the Germanic countries, is a 600-year tradition all over Europe, where Wendy, every city, big city, little city, a village, a hamlet, they completely lose their mind
look at that
at
picture.
Christmas. Yes.
Look at that picture.
And it's not a department store type celebration. It's outdoors. There's wooden kiosks bedecked in evergreens and boughs and fir trees, but it's music, it's entertainment, it's food, it's liveliness, and then it's shopping, everything about Christmas. And I've got to tell you, I've done it on a land tour. I've done it on a river cruise. I really like the river cruise because you pack and unpack one time. And I am not a shopper. Now, my wife, Kathy, is a shopper. She has single-handedly resurrected the economy of several third world nations as we travel the world. I love you, Kathy. And I support that. Anyway, I'm not a shopper. We went on the Christmas market cruise in 2019, just before COVID. I lost my mind. I had to go out and buy a suitcase because I bought gifts for all my grandkids. I'm a total sucker as a grandfather. You know, my grandkids get anything they want. But this Christmas market tour is the best. Now, they have them all over Europe. The Nuremberg Christmas market is one of the oldest and absolutely the best. And that's where we start our Danube River cruise. So the actual cruise dates, starting in Nuremberg and finishing in Budapest, are December 4th to the 11th. Now, you're home 2 weeks before Christmas. That should not be a concern. And, you know, on this cruise, you will see not only the Christmas markets, but Wendy, all of the other sightseeing that you would normally get on a Danube River cruise, you will see on this cruise.
And the Danube is one of the most popular river cruises in all of Europe. And there's a reason for that. It's romantic, it's beautiful, it's historic, it's medieval, it's all those things. And it's the Sound of Music. And it's
yes,
everything.
They're in Vienna.
So.
Now, all of your shore excursions are included. They have a list of them that are included that you can take advantage of. And that's an important consideration. And they have shore excursions for different activity levels,
which is
usually 1 to 5. One is very relaxed and easy. My aunt, who uses a walker at the time, went on the ones and had a great time. The 5s are for those who may want to take a bicycle out on a guided tour. I kind of hung in there in the 2 and 3. That's, you know,
depends
easy.
Yeah.
Now, we start in Nuremberg. We go through the Danube. We're going to take you there.
Yeah.
But pre-cruise,
yes, let's talk about
we have a Bavaria option. Now, if you're just doing the cruise, you'll fly into Nuremberg. But with the pre-cruise, which I'll be your personal host and tour guide, we fly to Munich. I should.
I was going to say, we have to introduce Kathy.
Well, here we are. The cruise there, or the picture on the right, I remember that's at one of the Christmas markets. You will love Kathy. You will tolerate me, but you'll fall in love with the sweetest girl in the world, Kathy Gelwix. We'll be your personal host and tour guides. Now, moving on to the Bavaria tour.
Here we go.
Okay. So what we do here, we fly into Munich. We see Munich. We have a sightseeing tour. Remember the cruise, you embark on the cruise or board it December 4th, meaning you'd have to leave December 3rd to get to Europe. So on this one, you will fly from the US on December the 1st and arrive in Munich on December the 2nd. We'll have a full Munich tour, but day 3 or December the 3rd is the real jewel of it. We're headed down into the Bavarian Alps. Now, you probably recognize Disneyland, California, right in the middle, don't you? That's Neuschwanstein. This was built by Ludwig II, Mad King Louis, they call him, in 1869. And Walt Disney used this castle as the inspiration for Cinderella's castle in Disneyland, California. It is a fairy tale land. Now, we also visit Oberammergau. You'll see there on the left. You know that story of the Passion Play, where the plague was ravishing through Europe. And in 1863, as it came to this very village, the people got together and prayed and said, "Dear God, spare us." And some people had already died.
Yeah.
And they said, "We will remember you with the Passionspiel or Passion Play. Our memories will be of you forever if you will spare it." And as the plague came up the valley, it just miraculously went around
all the way
the
around.
village of Oberammergau. And
Next showing 2030.
yeah, but that was in 1863. The very first performance they did in the cemetery on the graves of the people. 60 villagers participated in 1864. And then every 10 years, some adjusted it for World War II or COVID. But we had wonderful groups there.
Oh, so amazing.
This next one is
2030.
But you know
Put
what's
it on
cool-
your calendar.
You know what's cool about Oberammergau is they paint the biblical scenes and fairy tales. I like Little Red Riding Hood, that one. On the whole side of their house or businesses.
And they'll get to see this wonderful village if you don't make it for the Passion Play, but it is part of the pre-tour.
And it's right in the Bavarian
Yes.
Alps, which explodes straight up. Of course, we return to Munich, and then on December 4th, we'll see some more of Munich. Again, this is the pre-cruise Bavaria Splendors. And then it's about an hour and a half drive from Munich, or München, as they pronounce it, to Nuremberg, where we board the ship on December the 4th. Well, let me tell you about Nuremberg. Nuremberg is one of the most exciting cities in any part of Europe. There's a large imperial castle on the bluff that was the stronghold of the Holy Roman Empire. Roman empires stayed here in Nuremberg. The city itself dates back to 1050 AD. Now, you can actually see Roman ruins to this city. You know, the Holy Roman Empire was about 962 to 1806. It was never a unified country, but a collection of small and medium political entities. Now, we love food. You can see that, okay? All of these cities have a unique food. Now, my two favorite, and perhaps the most famous in Nuremberg, are the Nuremberg sausages and the Lebkuchen. The sausages are not like a big bratwurst, which you can get, but they're small. Think of them like Jimmy Dean's.
Exactly.
About that size.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And they usually are served on a plate of 3 or 6. I get 2 or 3 plates of 6, and with a bread roll, and of course sauerkraut and potato salad. Now, Wendy, you know potato salad in Germany is very different.
You know, everything I think is the same but yet different, and it's a different
Yeah.
experience.
Now, here in the States, use mayo as part of it. They
And
use no mayo in their potato salad. It's kind of a little oil vinegar with some spices. It's
Yeah.
absolutely delicious. Now, the Lebkuchen are honey-sweetened cakes and cookies. The Christmas markets in Nuremberg are, in my view, absolutely the best in all of Europe. And they're some of the oldest. They call it the Christkindlesmarkt. Wooden booths.
Oh, I jumped ahead. I was thinking that we had a different picture of that. Maybe it's the other side.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. But again, the wooden kiosks, wooden booths, music, drink, food, entertainment, dancing, and shopping, shopping, shopping. Remembering that we see all of the other sites
Everything
along the way. So moving along
well,
to
one thing I was just going to say is our tour, for what you're getting, it's a phenomenal price. I just want to put that one out there. But we can't recommend.
Why is it a phenomenal price? What did we do?
We negotiated the special rates with the hotels, the transportation and
On the pre-cruise.
And so we're able to.
But what do we do on the cruise?
Well,
With what's called a part charter. What did we do?
Well, we chartered over half the ship.
Yeah, we bought the place.
And so there'll be some people still on board who are not part of our group.
You'll have
to embrace them and
They'll
make them
wish
part
they
of the
were,
group.
yeah.
But it makes it special because everybody's having the same unique experience. The thing I wanted to point out about a pre-tour, whether or not you do our pre-tour or just go early, you're going to be traveling during the winter season and during the holidays, because this is going to be right after Thanksgiving, and everybody knows what travel is like in right after Thanksgiving. Do yourself a favor and make sure you arrive early. You should do this tour just so you don't miss all these experiences. But I'm just going to throw that out there. Get into town a day at least before your cruise.
And who doesn't want to visit the Disneyland castle in Germany? Neuschwanstein. All right, moving on. You can see the excursions are included, your meals are included. It says all drinks, really all drinks at lunch and dinner. And then they have like a happy hour. They do charge for like a Diet Coke or a beer or a glass of wine outside of lunch or dinner or the happy hour. And then the internet and Wi-Fi is included in this. What's nice is the ship holds about 160, 170 people. And you go into these small villages and you're not overwhelming. You mix in with the locals. And one of my best villages is on December the 5th. We will have been sailing from Nuremberg on December the 5th. We're in Nuremberg, and
now we're caught up.
Yeah, now we're caught up. These are pictures. The ones on the left and the right, I actually took myself. These are my own photos.
Wow.
The middle one is typical of Nuremberg, but you see Kathy is on the left shopping, and where am I in the photo on the right?
You're over at the buffet.
Thank you very much with the sweets. So let's move on to December the 6th.
I was going to just add one of the nice things about being parked right next to the markets, and Kathy would appreciate this one too, is when you've shopped and you've got your arms full of bags, you can go and drop them off, and then you can go back out and go again. So I just had to throw that one out there.
Like I said, single-handedly resurrecting
you can't
economies.
Help yourself.
Now, I've been to the Regensburg Christmas market or Christkindlesmarkt. There again is my lovely wife, Kathy, on the picture on your right. You know, Regensburg was founded in 90 AD. It's 2,000 years old by the Romans during the reign of Marcus Aurelius. And you can still see Roman ruins around the city. Dominating the landscape on your left is St. Peter's Cathedral, which was built in 700 AD and a masterpiece of Gothic art. There is an atmosphere that's just a fun atmosphere here because they build bonfires, outdoor bonfires here in Regensburg. There's plazas and alleyways that crisscross the city. And Regensburg is considered one of the most beautiful Advent Christmas markets.
Yeah.
And it was voted by Facebook as the #1 Advent Christmas market in all of Germany.
Meaning?
Well, you have the Advent calendars, you have the Advent, the days leading up to Christmas. They memorialize all of these incredible crafts. Now, foods here, they have a wine. They offer both an alcohol and non-alcoholic version. They're mulled wines.
Yeah.
It's a blueberry mulled wine. They also offer an apple mulled wine, but you got to try the blueberry mulled wine, both alcohol or non-alcoholic.
You know, one thing I'm just going to point out on this slide, Larry, is you see Kathy's jacket. And let's talk a little bit about the weather, because I get that question quite often as people have been booking this. So the weather in Germany during this time is not crazy cold.
No.
Most people from Utah, northern Utah, are going to be very comfortable there. It's going to feel very similar to what it does here. And I tell people, Kathy's jacket is perfectly appropriate. Bring a hat, bring a glove, bring scarves. It's one of those things that, depending on what time of the day it is, you're going to be taking off your gloves and your hat or your scarf. And at some point when I was out there, I took off my jacket and just had like a sweater on.
Yeah.
Because it was very comfortable.
What I have found,
every year's different.
What I found this time of year, the weather is very similar to what we have in early December in Salt Lake. It can be very temperate. It can be a bit colder. Now, Kathy would wear that jacket in August. All right.
She's one of those.
Yeah. I just wore a very light winter jacket. I had some gloves with me that I rarely put on. The weather in Germany, and like Salt Lake, it's Mother Nature.
Yes. Yes.
But you come prepared.
And it differs from year to year. Make sure you have really great worn in comfortable shoes.
Yeah.
Good walking shoes, waterproof, I would also recommend, because again, it could snow, which is always been one of my favorite things about that, because it's like, what do I always say about the Christmas markets? It's like what? You don't remember.
It's like Disneyland. It's fairyland.
It is. Well, to me, it's being in a snow globe.
Oh, yes, you did say that.
It's the closest thing I can remember, being in the middle of one of those villages like you see in these pictures, and just going, okay, just somebody just put like a globe over, and this is the most perfect Christmas holiday snow globe ever.
Well, we move on December 7th, we move on to Passau. The market is set against the imposing backdrop of St. Stephen's Cathedral, which is in the heart of Old Town. The Christmas markets here also have an Advent and festive charm, and some very unique gifts you find here. Now, you find a lot of similar gifts, but there's a lot of olive wood carvings and other wood carvings from the Black Forest. Olive wood, not from the Black Forest, but Bavarian Christmas items. They have a sheep's milk soap. Now, that might turn you off, but it is fragrant. It is a wonderful, it's a smooth soap.
Yeah.
Christmas scents, handicrafts. What they're known, every town and village is kind of known for food. We talked about the Lebkuchen and the Nuremberg sausages, the mulled wine in Regensburg. They are known in Passau for foods that include bacon, sausage, and cheese. Now, if you're not into that, they have plenty of other stuff. And these are all specialties from the South Tyrol region. Now, from Passau, and by the way, you can see Kathy there. Now, notice how she's dressed. She's taken that heavy jacket and tied it around her waist. Why? Because the weather was so temperate and comfortable. And here she is again, resurrecting the German economy. So they're in Passau. Let's go back to Passau.
Sorry.
There's a excursion option here to Salzburg, Austria. This is the sound of music.
The sound of music.
And this labyrinth of alleyways and streets, everything that you've dreamed about Christmas. So you have a variety of shore excursions. Think seriously about joining for the Salzburg excursion. Now we can move on to Melk.
Well, and mentally, I'm just saying it's nice that Alma does include the excursions, because then there's more money for shopping at the markets. Okay,
that's right.
Go ahead.
And for sausages. Okay, now on December 8th, we're in Melk and then later sail on to nearby. We've crossed the German-Austrian border here. Melk has a unique designation. The area around Melk, the cruising area, is designated as a UNESCO site. Now, how many stretches of a river can you think of? I can't think of any others where the stretch of river is a UNESCO site. It's forest, it's hills, it's castles, with a population in Melk. So this is where we get to the small village, about 5,300 people. But
That's
coming in with
so
160 people, we can mix in with the locals. The city itself dates back to the year 1089. But what Melk is famous for two things. One is the Melk Abbey. You've been there.
Oh, beautiful.
The Melk Abbey is built on a bluff. And originally there was the Babenberger Castle there until the site was given to the monks by Leopold II in the year 1089. And the monks have been living there. Of course, the abbey has built on and on and on, but there's been a monastery there for, well, over 1,000 years. Now, that's one thing it's known for. The other is going to be a surprise, I think, even to you as well-traveled as you are. It's the elderberry cordial. It's a drink, alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Now, what they do is they take the elder flower heads just as they start to open so that the fragrance is not tainted. Then they steep it like one would steep like tea. They take these elder flower heads and steep them with a sugar concentration. Then they mix it with lemon juice.
Okay, that sounds good.
And it is refreshing. It is absolutely fantastic. It is a must try there in Melk.
I was going to say, it sounds like it would be just so good for you too. It'd be one of those, because elderberry became so popular for boosting your immune system.
Yeah, it's elderflower.
Yeah, right, but
elderflower.
Right.
Anyway, now that day we sail from Melk on to Vienna. And so we'll get there that evening. We'll enjoy the city. And December 9th, we spend the day in Vienna. Now, Vienna, I was actually just there a few weeks ago. Okay. All right. And it is the capital city of Austria. It is the city of music. It was the home of Mozart and Beethoven, although Mozart was actually born in Salzburg, but he moved to Vienna. It's also the city of the imperial palaces, the best known, of course, the Schönbrunn Palace, which was the summer home of the Habsburgs. Now, here is what I like. Now, first of all, the chocolatiers. There are chocolate shops everywhere.
Yeah, European chocolate.
And the schnitzel. I overindulge. I overindulge in schnitzel, and when I was there, I had a bratwurst every day while I was there. But
kept you healthy.
It did. But Vienna is perhaps best known as the city of music, and you can find, as I did, concerts. It can be a full orchestra or a string quartet. I attended a concert in a cathedral. There were 8 strings, cello and violins, and 1 harpsichord.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah, they did Vivaldi's The Four Seasons. And if you heard Vivaldi's Four Seasons, you would recognize much of the music. It's very, very well known. Well, between the music, the architecture, horse-drawn carriages, bakeries, and chocolatiers, you just can't miss Vienna.
No.
Now, by the way, one of the excursions that AMA offers is called Imperial Vienna, which takes you to the famous Maria Theresienplatz Christmas markets. What's interesting, Wednesday, as you know, is these larger towns. It's not just one Christmas market. There may be 8 or 10
neighborhoods.
And we go to we're not going to go to 12 Christmas markets, but we'll go to the main Christmas markets there. They also have the tour that takes you to the Schönbrunn Palace illuminated Christmas markets. And what's nice is that we overnight in Vienna. In fact, we overnight in 3 cities. We overnight in Nuremberg, we overnight in Vienna on board the ship, and we overnight in Budapest, which takes us now to December the 10th.
All right, let's look at the
We're
10th.
sailing along the Danube. This photo, I mean, put your seatbelt on, is actually the Budapest Christmas market. It looks like it was on a snowy day, a little snow coming down. But this is typical. This is one of the larger markets. By the way, Budapest, I always thought was kind of a sleeper in recognition for Christmas markets. We think of Germany and Austria and France and England. Hungary goes crazy at Christmas time. And the Budapest, I think, is one of the best. But the size of this will be typical in Nuremberg, which is in the old town, cobblestone streets, buildings that survived the war. And Vienna, of course, is a massive, as I mentioned, the Maria Theresienplatz Christmas market is the most famous. But we're here in Budapest, one of the most beautiful cities in Europe. And it's Hungary's capital city. Now, Wendy, you know this story. The name Budapest is actually the bringing together of 2 cities on opposite sides of the river. You had the city of Buda on the right bank and the city of Pest on the left bank. And they decided, let's have one city, Budapest. It's just kind of fun, but it's one of the best Christmas markets. I think going here is like a step back in time. Now, the number one gift that people buy in Budapest, in fact, all of Hungary, to bring home is paprika or paprika, paprika, 2 acceptable pronunciations. But you can buy it in these little bags, spicy or regular, and they're inexpensive. They make for great Christmas gifts. I mean, where can you get your family a Christmas gift for $1?
I was going to say paprika is one of the more expensive spices too. You go to any market and
not in Hungary.
Real paprika is a very expensive spice. So that's awesome.
Well, folks, the cruise itself, December 4th to the 11th. You're home 2 weeks before Christmas.
We jumped
yes, and December the 11th.
You have to leave.
We have to leave. They'll drag me off the ship. Or if you want, you could extend your tour and visit some of the other highlights of Europe. I think most people will probably head home. We've got 2 weeks before Christmas. Kathy and I would love to share this experience with you. Now, the cruise dates, again, just the cruise, December 4th to the 11th. If you add the pre-cruise Bavaria option, which I highly recommend, those dates, the actual Bavaria dates are December 2, 3, and 4. But again, you'll leave December the 1st to get to Munich. I will be there with you on the pre-cruise. Now, how do you book this? If you are working with one of your favorite Morris Columbus travel advisors, just give them a call. Or you can go to our Morris Murdock Escorted Tours website, mmetours.com, as you see on the screen, mmetours.com, and then click on cruises. You'll see like South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, but for all of our cruises, we don't put it Europe or Asia. It's click on cruises.
This is a cruise program.
Go to 2024, and there you can sign up online. If people have a question and they want to talk to one of the travel advisors here in the group department, what number do I call?
Best number to call is 801-483-6363.
All right, let's do that again.
483
6363. 801 483 6363.
And just ask any of your questions. We'll make sure to give you all the correct information. or again, like you said, talk to one of our wonderful advisors at any of the Morris Columbus offices.
You know, and I don't think you'll ever find prices like this again. We mentioned that we bought half the ship. Now the savings over what AMA Waterways is charging varies by category, but I know at the lead category, our price was $1,000 per person, $2,000 a couple, less than what you could get it from any other travel company or directly from ABBA. Again, the amount of savings varies by the cabin category. And folks,
those are the great questions to ask your travel advisor. Talk to them about the different types of categories and also what's available. So if you're just jumping in, things are limited, but there's still space available. This is not a tour that you do, Larry, every year. Or a cruise,
2019 was the last time I did it.
So
5 years ago.
If this is a dream for you, now would be a perfect time. Perfect gift to take somebody. You still get to spend Thanksgiving with your family, then jump right into the holiday by celebrating in Europe. And I promise you, if you celebrate Christmas in Europe, start your season there, it will never be the same. Every Christmas will be a memory down this trip.
Was. So folks, again, contact your favorite Morris Columbus travel advisors at any of our offices here in Utah or Montana, Idaho Falls, or contact Morris Columbus Group Department Direct 801-483-6363, or go to our Morris Murdock website, the Escorted Tours, mmetours.com, click on cruises, and then find it. I hope you join us. And so God bless you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. If you don't find out that this is a trip that's going to work for you this year, you might want to share it with somebody else who it may be. We appreciate you talking about the trips and referring people. And you're always the best part of our business. So thank you so much. And I would say Merry Christmas, but yeah, Merry Christmas. Let's do that one.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.